What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, how you guys doing tonight? How is everyone out there? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope everyone had a great start to the week. Hope you guys had a phenomenal Monday. I hope you guys are ready for another live 2024 fantasy football draft here at the Catch. We will be hopping into an Underdog fantasy football draft tonight. Got the fast puppy. Probably hop into 2-3 drafts tonight. We'll see how things shake out. But regardless, we are throwing together amazing 2024 fantasy football teams. I'm pumped to be here. Excited to be here. Excited to have you guys come out. Join some fantasy football drafts with me tonight. Okay? Just do it. Right? If you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, promo code TheCatch gets you a first-time 50% deposit match up to $250. Links down below. Do that too if you have not drafted an Underdog Fantasy before. So I'm going to try and hang out for a minute or two here. Give you guys the opportunity to trickle on in here. Is trickle a word? I guess it is. And I'll probably enter the lobby at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. And we can go from there. So I will probably run a PPR mock draft tomorrow night for anyone interested. We ran one last night. I know some of you guys not participating in best ball tournaments, maybe can't play in your respective state. And some of you guys just want to get ready for redraft season as well. So we are still getting those together as well. Be sure to join our free Discord down below. If you want to join our PPR mock drafts, that is where the invite goes out and lets you know what time we are drafting, whether it's through Underdog or doing a mock draft. So once the month of August is here, I'll be putting out a mock draft every single day. So I'll be running a pretty intense amount of mock drafts. And I don't know, I might start that a little bit earlier this season. So one way or another, we will have plenty of mock drafts going on the channel with the community for you guys as well. But I'm telling you, those of you who do participate in Underdog, which, by the way, I'm entering the lobby once again at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, fast puppy. So that's less than 1 minute. So if you guys want to draft with me, just be prepared. 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to enter the lobby. But yeah, if you guys really start grinding out these Underdog drafts, I'm telling you, you'll just feel 100 times more prepared for your PPR mock drafts. And there's still a little bit of differentiation between the mock drafts, Underdog drafts, because Underdog is going to be a start 3 format and it is half PPR. But for me, that kind of like the half PPR 3 wide receiver kind of balances out, and you get kind of close to what you'd be seeing in most mock drafts, PPR mock drafts anyways. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. I feel like a lot of the ADP is still close enough. And at the end of the day, you will just, because you're drafting through 18 rounds, you will feel so much more prepared. So, all right. Jason says I can barely hear you. Everything for my mic looks good on my end, but let me know if anyone else is having that issue. Cat's good to see you. Glad you got in here. Jason's at the 6th spot. J-Dub, we missed you. I think J-Dubs is out there. I'm so happy that I have a late first round pick, by the way. I want to mess with my mic. I never really mess with my mic for this reason. Let me know if it sounds better now. Some of the knobs and stuff are easy to turn. Cameron says sounds normal. Better. I think one of my knobs just got turned down. Okay. My bad. And I started off like the stream like all excited and like I don't know, good energy, and now like on the playback it's going to suck. But all good. It happens. I will be more tuned in to my mic knobs from or moving forward. All right, please give me Brees Hall. Please give me Brees Hall. It's not going to happen, but please do it. Come on, Flusty Duster. Go wide receiver. No. No. I really want some Garrett Wilson shares, but I also really want Jahmyr Gibbs shares. Give me Wilson. I don't think I would see Garrett Wilson fall out to 15. I have seen Gibbs fall out that far, but I'm also not banking on it. So I'll probably just end up with like Drake London or Marvin Harrison Jr. But regardless, I'm very rarely getting these later first round picks. So wow, Mike Evans at the 2-1. All right, give me MH Jr. here. Although I am still good if you prefer Drake London, but I'll go MH Jr. here. Mike Evans at the 2-1. I have not seen that. I've seen Devonta Smith there. I've seen Jalen Waddle there. But yeah, I mean, if you want Evans, he's not going to be there at pick 36. So, okay, Chris, PED. Spice it up a bit. Flusty Duster goes Nico Collins over Drake London and Olave, and Robatanto takes Ayuk over Drake London. Kat says AJ Brown is my 1.4. Really? That value is nuts. Yeah, I mean, wait. Where are you drafting from? You get the 1-1. What do you mean AJ Brown is your 1.4? Like he's literally like your 4th ranked player, which is okay. I'm not like against that per se. Or I just want to make sure I'm not missing the point. All right, Jason, glad to have you in the draft as well. And guys, I will be running a second draft after this, so if you guys didn't get in on the first one, don't worry. Especially with the 20-second clock, I'm at least running 2 of these. If not 3. Cats, woo! I like that start a lot, dude. Going with the triple Miami stack. You just can't, if that's there, you can't ignore it. No way. Hill, Waddle, A-Chain. Very nice. Albert, good to see you. What up, what up? Cat's 4th ranked player. I just want to be sure. Yeah, I mean, I would say most commonly he's going between the 1.9 and the 1.11. Once again, if that's your 1.4, I don't hate it. And I talked about the first round a lot this year. I think really after CMC, Lamb, Hill, I still think that's my first tier. I think that's pretty set in stone for me. But after that, I really think Chase, JJ, Amon-Ra, Puka, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Bijan, Hall, Gibbs. And then for me, I think JT, Barkley, MH Jr., maybe London. I think all those guys are pretty disputable. Can go in just about any order. I'm really ending up with a lot of Michael Pittman shares lately. So yeah, if you like AJ Brown over, I mean, I want to assume Hill, Lamb. Who's your 1.3? Who are your top? Is that just wide receivers, or is that including Christian McCaffrey potentially? Who are your top 5 players, Cats? Chat, let me know who your top 5 players. It's July 15th. Who's everyone's top 5 players, regardless of format, just overall fantasy football players. Albert says that's the earliest I've seen Mike Evans go. It is very much so the earliest I've seen Mike Evans go as well. All right, give me a little Zay Flowers share. Almost took him over Pittman just to diversify. Almost went Pickens there too to diversify. Pickens, I think, might actually bring a little bit more upside. But I'll go Flowers here. That's fine. Flowers, Pickens, whatever. So, 4 wide receivers start. Garrett Wilson, M.H. Jr., Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers. Let's go. Thought about taking my first running back in Pacheco there, but I have a lot of exposure to Pacheco, I think. I mean, even if it's not super high, I actively try to draft Isaiah Pacheco on a regular basis. Yeah, he's, let's see, RB 1, 2, 3. He's my 5th most drafted running back and really tied with Eckler and Mostert at 28.1%. Is it just me, or does the Addison thing make you more scared of JJ in that offense? No. I don't know if there's really anything that's going to, like, scare me off of JJ, to be honest. So we looked it up last night, or we tried to. We did some very extensive investigating, right? And I think it's like every DUI. As people bring up the Henry Ruggs thing, like that is not this. This is not a comparable situation, right? That was a tragic situation, like, but every other player DUI has resulted in a 3-game suspension. I don't think we could find anything else other than a 3-game suspension. So, I don't think Addison's going to miss more than like 3-ish games. So, it doesn't really scare me off necessarily. But I get the point that you're making. It's fair. It's fair because that offense right now on paper is like Hawkinson's not going to be out there. He's hurt. He's guaranteed to miss time. Got Aaron Jones at running back, like, whatever. Like, that's really how I feel about Aaron Jones. It's like, whatever. It's fine. There's no other wide receiver on this team that makes me feel good in any way. So, I understand it. Plus, the quarterback play is still kind of up in the air, to say the least. So, fair, but with a player of JJ's caliber, I'm not worried about it. But, like, if you like Chase there, if you like Amon-Ra there, I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid all day long right here at pick 58. If you like A.J. Brown there, well, that's fine. That's fine. But, yeah, like a lot of people feel the same way about Chase. Like, they're just not going to pass on Chase. Like, they feel like he could be the wide receiver 1. Like, Burrow wasn't healthy last year, right? Year before, Chase missed a little bit of time, but not a lot. So I get it. But with me, it's like JJ in that realm I feel pretty strongly about. And I'm a very, very high, as most of you know, on Amon-Ra St. Brown. So really to start the offseason, I was pretty much exclusively outside of Hill, the first 3 picks, right? This is a tough pick for me right here. I'm just going to send it. I'm going to go with one more wide receiver here and take Rashee Rice, but my gut was telling me I should probably go Rachaad White right there, or Mixon if you prefer him, but I prefer Rachaad White, so 5 wide receivers start. I've been doing this a lot lately, and we got Kincaid sprinkled in there. 0 RB. Let's go. Yeah, pretty much to start the offseason, I was like exclusively going Amon-Ra St. Brown after Lamb, CMC, and Hill were off the board. So I get it, right? If you like one of those first round guys, if you're scared of one of those first round receivers, I get it. Addison gets 3 games at most, but NFL typically waits till legal process is over. He could not even be suspended until 2025, says Jason. Katz, also NFL could consider this a second offense due to the incident last year. Interesting point. In which case is an 8-game minimum. Katz scared as I won't take him till 1.9. Okay, so the Addison thing is interesting, bringing up the second offense, because the first offense didn't result in a suspension. So, which I mean, I don't think for the point you're making matters, but I would still say personally, right? I think you have to get some shares of JJ sprinkled in there. I mean, if you're not going to do it in redraft, fine. But in like best ball tournaments, I would still try to get some exposure. All right, sorry. Throwing together a quick little queue. Kind of in a tough spot here. I mean, I probably need to go back-to-back running back. So Addison's ADP is 66.9. It hasn't really like updated since the situation, because the new true ADP hasn't really been determined. They're going to give it a couple nights, right? But we are now pick 78, and there goes Addison. I was wondering if it was a team that had JJ too. Now I will say if I take JJ and like right now, I'm still taking the risk on Addison with him falling back essentially a whole round. I mean, this is just one draft, but with him falling back a round, right? Like, I'll probably still take the risk on him. All right, he's here. I feel like I have to do it, so I'll go Kyler because I have MH Jr. Going back to the top 5 players, Jason says CMC, Adams, Hill, JJ, Chase, Amon-Ra. That's 6 players. Adams. I don't think I have Adams in my top 5 or top 6. It's not Devontae Adams' fault. It's the quarterback situation. He was the wide receiver 10 last year, so I think in the top 10 you could make an argument. Man, Zamir White is my RB1. Let's go. Let's go. It's going to be another one of those beautiful, beautiful 0 RB teams. Pretty sure last year did not even count for NFL rules and collective bargaining since there was no suspension prior. Jason says, I didn't even realize I was. Jason says, I mean Lamb. I was queuing up Adams. I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if he means Lamb. Yeah, and I totally blanked on that. That, Jason, that's you who took Addison. I mean, Addison's a wide receiver 4. I'm okay with it, especially if I can get Addison's like a wide receiver 5. Like, yeah, it's kind of like the Rashee Rice. Like, I'm not scared at all to draft Rashee Rice, especially as a wide receiver 4 or 5. Or I don't really think you're going to get him as a wide receiver 6, but I think 4 or 5 is about just based on his ADP where you're going to have to go. But I am not worried about drafting Rashee Rice, and at the right value, I'm not going to be worried. I mean, like I said, he goes back about 12 spots in this specific draft. It might be a little bit all over the place. But yeah, if I can take Addison as a wide receiver 5, 6, I'm still going to do it. I am. Now, redraft, if you're a little bit more hesitant, I'm okay with that, dude. All right, so my top 5 is like probably pretty boring. I'm probably going to go CMC Hill or CMC Lamb Hill. I'm probably going JJ Amon-Ra. I know, like, some people are going to hate me because I think Chase is really, in most people's rankings, is like really moved up to kind of like 4. And I think the argument for Chase over JJ is fine. I might be leaning Chase over JJ. And I might quite frankly be at Amon-Ra at 4. Because I'm like just so dead set on Amon-Ra. Like, he does not worry me in any format whatsoever. You know? They're like, I will just smash the Amon-Ra draft button over and over and over and over again. So, I might truthfully have Amon-Ra at 4. And then I think really 5 is like a 1A, 1B for Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. It's very close, but something about Justin Jefferson just makes me feel slightly better, and I don't really know what. So maybe that's not fair. All right, I'll go Javonte. These running backs are going to be gross, but the rest of this team is absolutely filthy. I really do encourage you guys to get some 0 RB builds built in. Like with this team, like, you know, if we go, I'm about to draft, and I'm taking Gus the Bus, unless Georgetown takes him. Yeah, just give me Gus. But yeah, so if we go Rachaad White over Rashee Rice, we still have 4 great wide receivers, a great tight end, a great QB1 who's stacked with Marvin Harrison Jr. And then we could go Cortland Sutton over Zamir White, although I probably would have still gone White there. We could have gone Romeo Doubs over Javonte, Brandon Cooks over Gus Edwards, or any other wide receiver that's available right now over Gus Edwards. So it'd probably be Doubs for me. But maybe I would have gone Sutton there at the A3 to see if Zamir White would fall, because I'd still be okay with that. But the upside of a Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver as my wide receiver 5, I just like getting some of these builds in. I mean, we didn't go RB till the 8th round. So Cats, I got CD, Hill, CMC, AJ Brown, Brees, Amon-Ra, Bijan, Chase, JJ. Yeah, it's a really interesting year for wide receiver versus running back, because so traditionally we always have 2 running backs at least in the top 5, right? And I think for a lot of people it's Bijan or Brees if you are going to move a running back into your top 5, top 6. And fantasy football, especially being full PPR, having best ball formats where wide receiver is so important because you're playing 3 wide receivers. More people getting into dynasty where wide receiver just holds more merit over time than the running back position. This season, we have just so many mocks now where you get CMC at the 1.1, 1.2, and then it's Hill, Lamb, Chase, JJ, Amon-Ra are all off the board. So you really have 5 players in the first 6 selections that are wide receivers. And then you kind of have Bijan and Brees on the outskirts, but I don't think there's anything wrong if you have Bijan or Brees maybe ahead of one of those wide receivers you don't feel as strongly about. So I do think as we get closer to the month of August, we are going to see more people potentially put Bijan or Brees in their top 5. And I won't be surprised, especially in like a top 6 type overall ranking. Like maybe, like, like Gats, you're not comfortable with JJ. Maybe he falls out. Maybe someone's not comfortable with Chase because I think Burrow's going to get hurt. Maybe someone just doesn't like the Lions, Lions offense, and Amon Ra falls out. So, um, people always have a reason, right? Plus, like, you know, being a content creator, fantasy football guy, like you see this, right? This time of year, people want to have different opinions. Like people don't want people to click on their channel or their Instagram page or go to their website, look at their rankings, whatever, and everything's just the same. And quite frankly, I do think that's a good thing to some degree because so many sorry, getting ready for this next pick, but year after year, like we try our best in terms of rankings, ADP, all that stuff, but nobody's ever 100% correct, right? All right, give me Jerome Ford. I'm interested to see who goes with these next couple picks. No idea what these two teams in front of me look like. They kind of both. They're not really teams that need quarterbacks. And that's about it. So or 1.12 is no tight end, so dude, I'm not gonna lie though, I'm really happy with this team. Kyler Murray stacked with Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, Amh Jr., Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice at wide receiver, Dalton Kincaid at tight end. Running back, we have Zamir White, Javonte Williams, Gus Edwards, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler. I feel very good about this team. Still need a tight end too, need another quarterback. I mean, but I feel really good about this team. Kat says AJ Brown was like the wide receiver 2 or 3 until Hurts got hurt and the offense fell apart. They get an upgraded offensive coordinator as well. So I've brought this up a lot. Like there are still people who are like really off of AJ Brown, and I just like continuously bring up the point that AJ Brown last season at a point was on a historic pace. And I think it's kind of hard to overlook that. Like literally was on a historic pace until, like you said, Hurts got hurt. Team kind of fell apart. Changed that offensive coordinator. Just, I don't know. Whatever happened to the Eagles last year was weird. But like, if we really look back on AJ Brown's season, there's really no reason why he shouldn't really be in the same conversation as some of these other guys. I mean, so week 1, 14.9 points. Week 2 was that week he was like yelling at Jalen Hurts. Devonta Smith was balling out. Minnesota game, 6.9 points. But then 22.1, 38.5, 18.7, 20.1, 29.7, 33, 19.6. A bummer at Kansas City in week 11 after the bye week at 1.8 points. 14.7, 19.4, 16.4, 10.6, 14, 9.3, then we're not even going to count week 18. So phenomenal season. Like even like when we're looking at quote unquote things like fell apart, like those are still very good numbers outside of week 11. Like you look at week 2, week 11, and I guess you could argue the fantasy playoffs in week 17 against Arizona, 9.3 points. That's fair. And even the 10.6 game at Seattle, like there are people out there who argue that's an awful game, but it's still double digits. So still a really good year. But yeah, that original pace he was on those first 9 weeks was ridiculous. I mean, it literally, I don't remember how, but at the pace he was on was set to be a historic pace. So, I don't disagree with what you're saying, like whatsoever. I really don't. All right, this is a tough pick. Justin Herbert's just hanging out, but I need Rodgers. I ran out of time because I was really contemplating. I was about to say, I think this team with Allen's going to go Herbert. I almost went Herbert, then wanted to see if Allen would fall at 159. But I was going on a rant about A.J. Brown, and then things just happened so quickly. That might have been a missed opportunity. I need Rodgers because I have Garrett Wilson on this team. He's not going to come back to me. So give me DeMarcus Robinson. I kind of feel, because I really like the start to this team, but I kind of feel weird about that Justin Herbert. I mean, I'm so confident in my pick. The right pick is Aaron Rodgers for this team, but Herbert being there is like, I don't know. Cats, my team is definitely afraid of anything below 30-degree weather. Bro, I was hoping Mostert would fall, but I knew you were going to take him. Just fine. Hill, Waddle, A-Chain, and Lamar. Lamar and Andrews are... You can get some bad weather in Baltimore. Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay Johnson, Mostert, Palmer, Dowdle, Tua. I'm glad you got Tua, bro. Chandler, Kendre Miller. Nice-looking squad. Jason's got Amon-Ra, Debo, Laporta, Pacheco, Reed, Monty, Addison, Samuel Purdy, Singletary, Goff. Glad you got Goff. Demario Douglas, Ricky Pearsall, and Eli Mitchell. Jason, sorry, but I'm taking Conklin. He's my favorite tight end in this range. Do your thing. You guys draft however you believe best. I don't even think Conklin would make it back to me. Oh, Katz is taking Conklin. To be honest, I haven't even been thinking about a tight end 2 at all this draft because I'm just happy that I have Dalton Kincaid on my team. I wonder if... Oh, wow. I probably really sniped this guy. I went Kincaid at 5'10". He had the 5'11" in Josh Allen. And he went Kittle at 6'2". I wasn't even in... I was just happy Kincaid was there. My bad, maybe. Georgetown quarterback. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I am psyched about this team right now. I don't even care about no tight ends. For a, 5 wide receiver, 1 tight end start, 1 quarterback. We didn't even go running back till the 8th. This is probably as good of a situation as I feel like I could throw together. I mean, it's all on paper. It's July 15th, but this has been a solid draft. So now it's just about polishing out these last 4 picks. And, yeah, I got to go Malachi Corley here. Not even close. Let's go Jets, 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 Jets. Do I need to take one more quarterback? Oh, Baker's gone. I'd say I will take. That guy's got Mike Evans too. Yeah, you better take Baker. Jason says your snipe led to his snipe of Kittle for me. My bad. Do you guys think Jones, sorry, I'm looking at the screen. Do you guys think Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray can make it a full season? I don't know. Give me Bryce Young, baby. think I did. I think the last time I had the 110, which was actually fairly recently. I think these are the 3 quarterbacks I drafted. All right. This was a heck of a draft. A heck of a draft. So I'm either going to go 2 tight ends to end or 1 tight end, 1 running back. I feel pretty good about Kincaid. I just got to make sure I draft a tight end who does not have a week 12 bye. For those of you guys out there, we will be hopping into a second puppy right after this draft. So, if you did not get in on the first one, I will be here for a second one. Throw that on Discord. Jason Katz, how do you guys feel about your drafts? Khalif Raymond off the board. Let's go, Katz. I do like Devontae Walker. Like, yeah, if you have Lamar and Andrews, you're not going to also get Zay Flowers. It's just not possible. So I think taking Walker late is good. Really hoping Chig would fall. So now for me, because there are some running backs here who I think kind of bolster. I mean, I do have 5 running backs that, for going 0 running back, I feel okay about. But, oh, wow. Of course, tight end's getting decimated. I'm probably just going to end up with Jatavion Sanders. But yeah, there's some running backs here that I'll take a shot on. This is a tough pick, man. Yeah, just give me Dameon Pierce. I really do like Dameon Pierce, where he's going in drafts. He's such a good handcuff. And he might even get touches, you know, even with Mixon in the Mixon in the mix. Yeah, so I would say Jatavion Sanders would be my target here. What's his bye week? Week 11. Okay, different than Dalton Kincaid, so that's probably the only weakness of this team is like tight end 2. And like that's when I pick Bryce Young. It's like, you know, do I go to take Chicken Conquo, Mike Gesicki, Ben Sinnott, guy like that, then get another tight end here at 202 or 207? But we'll just go Sanders. And, I mean, this is still a really solid draft. Really good draft. I mean, like, does it have to be 3 quarterbacks? No, but Rodgers is coming off injury, and I mean, Kyler should be fully healthy, but he was injured the year before, so you got Kyler, Rodgers, Bryce Young, right? Kyler is stacked with MH Jr. Rodgers is stacked with Wilson and Malachi Corley. 0 running back. We didn't go running back till the 8th round. Zamir White, Javonte Williams, Gus Edwards, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler, Dameon Pierce. I can live with that for getting 5 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 quarterback through the first 7 rounds. I can really live with that. It's not great, but it can definitely work. Garrett Wilson, MH Jr., Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice, Demarcus Robinson, Malachi Corley, Dalton Kincaid and Jatavion Sanders, so we get maybe a teeny tiny stack with Bryce Young and Jatavion Sanders there. So I'm really happy with that draft. Really, really happy. All right, let me pull it back up, and I'll take a look at your guys' teams. Cats got Lamar and Tua, great. You got Lamar stacked with Andrews and Devontae Walker, hopefully. Tua, you got like the whole Miami Dolphins. Man, you didn't get Johnny Smith, but you got Tua, A-Chain, Mostert, Hill, Waddle. Better hope they did what they did last year, bro. But still very nice regardless. A-Chain, Mostert, Dowdle, Chandler, Kendre Miller, Vidal, Hill, Waddle, Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay Johnson, Josh Palmer, Khalif Raymond, Devontae Walker, Brendan Rice. Little Chargers correlation, potentially. Mark Andrews, Tyler Conklin. Solid team. I mean, it is a Miami Dolphins full force with a little bit of the Ravens sprinkled in here. Nice. We'll take it. Dang, what is this team? I kind of like that team. Anyways, so Jason here. We got Purdy and Goff. Purdy is with Debo. Fair enough. And Ricky Pearsall. Good, good. Sorry, didn't see him at first. Goff has got Monty and Amon-Ra and Laporta. We'll take it. Good quarterback room here. Running backs Pacheco, Monty, Singletary, Eli Mitchell, once again, potentially correlating with Purdy. Ray Davis, Will Shipley, why not? Amon-Ra, Debo, Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, Curtis Samuel, Demario Douglas, Ricky Pearsall, A.T. Perry, Sam Laporta, Johnny Smith. Nice. Good entry. Good drafting, ladies and gentlemen. And man, I don't always come out of a draft like feeling this good, but this was a team that I really like. Like I would save this team just to see if it performed well at the end of the year. I don't know if you guys like this team, but I felt really good about this team. All right. For those of you out there, I don't know why I'm singing. I'm going to enter the lobby at 10:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Less than a minute, so get ready. I'm just staring at the clock. 10:55. Join the draft with me, okay? 20-second per pick lobby. Fast puppy. We're going to do it, okay? That was a nice little draft we just did. I'm feeling good. We got 7 spots. Get in the draft. 6 spots. Get 5 spots. Get in the draft. Get in the draft right now. Do it. Okay? 4 spots. Get in the freaking draft, guys. Do it. Just do it. Cats, how many teams are drafting 3 players that don't always get drafted? I hate all the wide receivers here. You made the best out of it. Cats and Jason running it back. Let's go. Let's go. Want to take Malik Washington, my guy, but I've definitely reached the point of diminishing returns to Miami. Probably so. Weekly winners, I think, like, dude, the one thing I love about weekly winners is, like, I will not look at ADP whatsoever. Like, I will just draft an entire offense, and I don't care if the ADP follows or not. So I think in weekly winners, you could do that with, you could, because you could have gotten Malik Washington and Odell Beckham over, Rice and Walker. You really wanted to get crazy with it. All right, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I have drafted literally about over 70% of my drafts on Underdog from the 1.1 to the 1.5. You guys already know that. I've talked about this a lot. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm drafting Breece Hall at the 1-5, okay? I want some exposure to Breece Hall, and I have like none. And I barely have any exposure to Bijan Robinson. But I want some exposure to Breece Hall. So I don't care who's on the board. I've done dozens of drafts, okay? I've drafted everyone here. CMC, Lamb, Hill, Amon-Ra, Chase, JJ. I've drafted all of them plenty of times, okay? I have like one share of Breece Hall, okay? I don't care, all right? Taking Breece Hall. And look, Fanster goes Bijan Robinson, okay? Then there goes JJ. Like, just give me Breece Hall so I can have one draft with Breece Hall. I mean, literally. My exposure to Hall, 3.1. I have one share outside of this draft in a Best Ball Mania draft. And I think Bijan is at the same rate. 3.1, one share in a Best Ball Mania draft, because I am not getting the selections. All my selections, like I know I just drafted from the 1.10 in the last draft, but like I said, about 70%, a little bit, maybe higher than 70% of my drafts are from the 1.1 to the 1.5, regardless of tournament. But especially in Best Ball Mania. And some people are like, why are you complaining about that? And I'm not necessarily, but I don't have full exposure to some of these guys in the later first round and the early second round. So, listen, I know you guys know that I draft a ton. I have a ton of exposure, different builds, all that stuff. And nobody's going to be mad that I went Breece Hall there, but just explaining myself, okay? Jason, I have drafted so many 10, 11, 12 spots. It's defying the rules of randomization. Yeah. Spot 9 just got Xmas early. I will say Amon-Ra at 9 is beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, it's just like you are going to see some drafts where those first 9 picks are just switched up a little. And really, overall, the first 12 picks, like you're going to see sometimes CMC last to the 1.3. Sometimes you're going to see Hill or Lamb at the 1.1 or the 1.2. Just like this, see Chase at the 1.4. You're going to see these guys in the first round mixed up, because I think it's similar to like people just want different exposure to them. So, and once again, like part of me is not complaining because I do have a large amount of shares of those early first round caliber players compared to other drafters. So, but still, just give me a draft with Breece Hall so I can move on with my life. Okay. Good pick, Cats. Good pick. If Saquon lasted, I was going to take Saquon and go double hero running back. All right, I'll go Nico. It's fine. But yeah, smart pick for you. Oh, and Cats, you get your boy. You get A.J. Brown. Could you imagine if Devonta Smith fell? I mean, he won't fall, but... Because I'm telling you, if he's at 29, if he falls that far, I'll take him. But it would be... Yeah, I know you would go in on it. You know, you went triple Miami last draft. Yeah, Jason goes Smith. And I think if you get Lamb and, like, Smith is there at the turn, whether you get Lamb at 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, you got to try and correlate some of those Philadelphia-Dallas matchups. And you got to imagine both those guys going to have very, very good years. Cats, I've drafted the 1.3 and got A.J. Brown, Saquon, and Devonta. Now, that makes more sense. See, once again, an intentional stack, like, if you take A.J. Brown at the 1.3, right now, there's going to be plenty of people who look at that and kind of go, you know? But then if you get Brown, Smith, or Brown, Barkley, then Smith, those people are going to back off and say, okay, I get it. You know, this is a triple stack. Now, if you could also land Hurts, like, I just don't know if that's possible. But that would certainly be interesting too. But I just don't think, based on ADP, I mean, if you do enough drafts, there's a chance. I mean, Hurts, his ADP is 41.5. I've seen him fall before. That'd be about 5 spots, 4.5 spots. So it's not like insane. But you have to do a lot of drafts, and you'd have to coincidentally get the 1-3, and you'd have to also have Barkley fall a bit, because Barkley's all over the place in ADP. I really like Saquon Barkley, but he's one of these guys that people know, like, Barkley gets hurt and like the tush push and whatever. I'm all in on Barkley, but he's one of these guys, who people don't want to draft, so whatever. I mean, he still played in 14 games last year. 27 points in week 2, missed 3 games, had a pretty bad game, but that first game last year for the Giants was awful. I don't know if you guys remember. That was Monday Night Football, and it was just so disgusting. Maybe it was Sunday Night Football, but that game sucked. Dallas just destroyed them, but he had 9.3 points. Like, I think the Giants starters, maybe they did play this. Dallas, the starters weren't out there for a point, but 27.2 in week 2, missed 3 weeks, 13.8, 18.8, 15.8, 14.3, 7.1 at Dallas again. Did not play well against Dallas last year. At Washington, week 11, 30 points, 6.2 in week 12. Didn't play week 13 against San Fran, 23 points, 5.7 points at New Orleans, a good run defense. At Philadelphia, week 16, 19.4 points. At home against the Rams, 8.8. The Rams had a good run defense last year. Then at Philly, 23.7 in week 18. So I do not fear Saquon Barkley in any way. Man, I keep forgetting that I picked a running back in the first round. So I'm going hero running back. I'm probably not drafting another running back till the 8th round at least. So I think I pick 53. I probably go wide receiver. Okay, Dalton Kincaid's gone. Good pick, Jason. I'm going to say if Kincaid's there, I'll probably take Kincaid, but he's not there. He's gone. So I'll probably go wide receiver here. And once again, so far, I think another good start. Last draft, did you guys like that last? I felt really good about that last draft. So hopefully this one lives up to it. Right now I'm happy because outside of Stroud, I have so far drafted players who quarterbacks correlate late. Last draft I was kind of pinned against the wall, so I kind of had to go Kyler. Yeah, give me Hollywood Brown all day long here, man. All day long. Wide receiver 4. I do have a large amount of shares. Hollywood Brown's one of my most drafted players overall in Underdog right now, and I am taking him quite a bit in PPR mock drafts as well. But I just don't see that changing anytime soon. I actually have a video coming out this week that just goes over my top 5 most drafted players in Underdog and kind of why they've ended up as my highest rated players that I had the highest exposure to. And yeah, I talk about Hollywood Brown in that video, and it's just like I just don't see that changing anytime soon. And you guys know, I draft quite a bit of Rashee Rice as well. And I don't really see either of those things changing. And maybe I should start to get some more Xavier Worthy shares. I have some, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. We got Brees Hall, Collins, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown. We need to go tight end, and we either go wide receiver 5 or RB2. Kind of depends. Like, this depends on who's there. I mean, we're at the top of the 6th round, so James Cook, Chris Godwin, Xavier Worthy, Roma Dunze, Rasheed Rice, George Kittle, Jordan Addison. Like, we got plenty of good names. Stroud, I would consider in this range too. It's going to be a tough decision if he's there at 68. Who's got Dell? Diggs is over here and Dell's over here. They both passed on him. And I just plan to go quarterback late in this draft. But if Stroud's there at 68, it's just tough to not take him. His ADP is 67.8, excuse me. Now, most of the players that I kind of like at pick 68 are now gone. But now, like, man. All right, I'm just going to go Stroud. It's going to be Stroud. Don't overthink it. Just give me Stroud. And yeah, like, I really wanted Christian Watson on this team too. And like, all the wide receivers I like right here are just going to get wiped. And frankly, like, even if I go Watson there, maybe Stroud lasts. Like, I'm really the only team left that is super inclined to take Stroud's having Nico Collins, but I was also going to take a tight end this round or within these 2 rounds. And now I don't know if I'm going to particularly do that. Good picks, Jason. Walker, JSN back to back. I think really good values there. Brian Thomas. And I was kind of eyeing him too just because I already have Kirk and like we can potentially get T-Law late. But now I don't even know if I'm worried about like T-Law. So, yeah. And Ingram, I kind of wanted on this team too. But give me Deontay Johnson all day long. I'm actually kind of happy he fell there. And, like, yeah, originally I was kind of thinking Ingram, like Watson Ingram was really what I wanted because I already have Kirk. Then, like, we can go T-Law late. But this works, you know. This works just fine with me, actually. It has been a heavy, I don't want to say heavy tight end draft. This is about on par. Ferguson's ADP is like 84.5, so him at 80. We're about on par for ADP here. Oh, Jason, I didn't even see your comment. I probably should have pushed him, but you just never know. Like, none of the teams in front of me, except for Deadly Gucci 23. Jeez, I don't know how some of these teams get through, but team names get through. But yeah, like only one team has a quarterback in front of me. You just never know. And I'm seeing more and more teams get drafted where players just don't care about like stacking. Like they're just getting a quarterback 1 and stealing stacks. Like they're not even intentionally stealing stacks. They're just getting QB 1s, and it is what it is, you know. So you just never know. But you're probably right. I don't really disagree. I was like the first thing I said is like probably should have pushed Stroud there because I do feel best out of that range with Christian Watson. And I think on this team with Watson as a wide receiver 5, I would have been super happy. I'll take Swift here. I've been drafting a lot of Zamir White lately. I drafted a lot of DeAndre Swift too. Last draft we go Zamir White. I'll take Swift there. So yeah, and I have DJ Moore, so go Bears. But yeah, I probably should have pushed it, but hey, you live and you learn. That's the fun of it. So really the decision here becomes, do I go tight end I don't think I'm going to go tight end. I know I made that rule. Like, I got to go Jake Ferguson or earlier. And every now and then I can slide right out of that tier. But I think this draft, the wind is taking me a different direction. It's been a pretty heavy running back draft, too. Oh, no, I guess we're right on ADP. We're pick 101. Pollard's ADP is 100.3. So, all right. I'm in my zone over here. Nonetheless, a good start to this team. Stroud, we got him stacked with Collins. Like you don't have to stack every single. You don't have to have every Texans wide receiver. Stroud, Collins, fine. DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, great wide receiver room. Hero running, especially for a hero running back approach, and taking a quarterback a little bit earlier, which I didn't plan on doing. But then Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, a lot of receiving upside at running back as well. So let's go. Feeling good. Probably still feel better if I got Christian Watson than CJ Stroud, but and honestly, like I wasn't super set on drafting CJ Stroud anyways, and he is a player right now who's kind of falling a lot of times a little bit against ADP, so oh well, I'm gonna stop talking about it. We took Stroud. I'm not really like too upset about it. Once again, more upside with Christian Watson compared to Deontay Johnson, but now at least if all fails, we can go Bryce Young late and get the young Deontay stack. So we got things cooking over here. Man, I was kind of eyeing Caleb. I don't have any Caleb Williams shares. Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams stack fair. It's his first quarterback, but I got Swift. I got DJ Moore. If Caleb was there at 116, I'd probably taken him. But that's okay. It kind of gives us like a free-ish pick here. I won't say free, but I don't know what to do with this pick. Dude, I hope Gus Edwards has a good season because I have a lot of shares of Gus Edwards. There's a lot of good players right here. And I was about to take Trevor Lawrence to get a second stack. T-Law and Kirk. But I'm okay with not getting him. But like Blake Corum, Tavion Wicks. There's a lot of good running backs left. Well, I don't want to say there's running backs in this range that I like still available. This next pick is hard, man. Hate when Jerome Ford gets drafted. I feel like Stroud's ADP is only so high because there's so many stacking partners that go before him. I mean, I think that's fair, but also Stroud, like to start the offseason, was like a super hot name, and then people started to kind of get down on him, like, which I think is understandable to a degree. Like, we could definitely see more potential regression this season, but I think it's a little bit of both. All right. I'm just gonna go Dalton Schultz here. I know one of my rules was I can't draft Dalton Schultz anymore, but this team makes too much sense. And I did get Schultz down from 40.1% drafted to 34.4% drafted. Plus, that's not including the draft we just did where we didn't draft him, and now this is one more draft that we have him. So $189 entry fees on Dalton Schultz. So, but yeah, this team it makes the most sense to draft him. So we'll just do it. And he's not going to be there. I mean, maybe he falls to 140, but I don't think so. I just don't think so. And that was another tough pick. Both those picks, 116, 125, a lot of players that I like available at both picks. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Eckler would have been the other guy that I went with there. He would have been my RB5, and I like Eckler as an RB5. I don't care what anyone says. RB5 territory, I'm okay with Eckler. He still had 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year and only played in 14 games, and 8 of them had double-digit fantasy points. Like, yeah, I like Eckler. So go ahead and roast me. I don't care. All right, with these next two picks, I'm probably going receiver, tight end. Tight end, receiver. We'll find out. I have a feeling I'm going to go tight end. I might go tight end running back. I feel like with receiver, we got 5 solid guys. We can just go for late round upside. And there are like good quarterbacks floating around here too that I don't think will be there. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take Komet because I don't want anyone else to take him. Fryermuth is here. That's fine. I get it. Hawkinson's here. Komet's ADP still before Hawkinson, but yeah, we're just gonna correlate Komet with DJ Moore, with DeAndre Swift, move along. See what happens. This next pick is also kind of tough. Man, I was thinking about going Hawkinson there. All right. All right, my computer's like freaking out, so I took Cousins. Cousins or Stafford there. Fryermuth or Musgrave if I wanted a third tight end. Yeah, Cousins versus Stafford, I don't really care. I mean, there's a chance I can get DeMarcus Robinson with this next pick, so maybe Stafford's the right pick, but gives us a little bit diversification. Most of the time, I'm probably taking Stafford right there. I was about to miss that pick, and Chuba Hubbard goes right there. Chuba Hubbard was a highest ranked player, which like are on my queue, which I could live with, I think, but it's not particularly who I wanted. So he has a higher chance to fall at a 164. Sorry to whoever wanted Kirk Cousins, maybe the 2.1 team who has Pitts. Pick team 5. Someone just picked Mooney. Maybe they were hoping he'd be there. They just have Goff. They may have been. Sorry. My bad. All right, I gotta get some running back and wide receiver help. Don't know if I really care about. I mean, we got quite a few picks, so. All right, I feel better that I didn't go Stafford because Katz goes with Demarcus Robinson, so that makes me feel actually a little bit better. All right, let's take a Jaleel McLaughlin share. You know, you ever just feel like drafting Jaleel McLaughlin? Why not? He's getting some touches, whatever. Then, yeah, I feel like I got to go wide receiver at this next pick. Because by the time we pick again at 188, I don't like what is there. If I did go wide receiver at 164, it would have been Troy Franklin, if not Randall Robinson, who are both off the board. It's the next two picks. If Adam Thielen falls to 173, I will take him just because I have Deontay on this team. Okay. Never mind. Which is fine. Okay, so I'm finding myself in this range drafting a lot of Malachi Corley. Rodgers still available too. And a lot of drafts, like the last one, I was going Rodgers in the 14th, Corley in the 15th. And if you have Garrett Wilson, I really think that that's almost necessary. Maybe not necessary, but a good move. All right, another solid draft. CJ Stroud, Kirk Cousins. We got Stroud with Collins and Schultz. Cousins just hanging out. He's just my QB2. Once again, sorry to the Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney drafters. Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Gus Edwards, Jaleel McLaughlin. We still need a little help here at running back, but I'm okay with that. Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Malachi Corley. We are going to get more wide receiver depth in theory as this draft wraps up. Dalton Schultz, Cole Kmet at tight end. Got some Bears correlation here too. It's another solid draft. Yeah, I don't see. I've got. Man, I kind of wanted Bryce Young on this team too, but we don't need him, so that's okay. These last couple picks feel a little tough. But I think realistically, just go best available wide receivers, running backs. I guess I could throw another tight end in here as well. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Chicken Conquo. And then this next pick, I'm probably going to go running back. Then I'll go wide receiver at 212. But there's I almost took Roman Wilson. There's just nobody here at wide receiver that's stands out to me tremendously. I don't know. There is a running back I'm targeting at 197. Is Damian Pierce, mainly because once again Stroud, Collins, Schultz on this team. But I also kind of like Tyler Boyd right there. Then like I have to go wide receiver at 212, and it's probably gonna be DJ Chark or Odell Beckham. Unless I get real spicy and go Noah Brown. But yeah, I'll take Damian Pierce here. Another solid draft. Stroud and Cousins. I'm just going 2 quarterbacks here. Hall, Swift, Pollard, Gus the Bus, Jaleel McLaughlin, Damian Pierce. A true hero running back team. Collins, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson. Luckily, all those guys different bye weeks too, so that helps. The Malachi Corley is our wide receiver 6, which I can live with. Schultz, Komet, Chicken Conquo. Good tight end room. I'm okay with this squad. 2 good drafts tonight. Katz and Jason, I'll take a look at your guys' drafts once the draft concludes. But yeah, 2 solid drafts tonight, I think. Super happy. Did any of you guys play the new college football game? What's the feedback? And if you guys are playing it, there is a thread on the Discord channel. And some of you guys trying to get together, start dynasties, so make sure you guys check that out too. I'm not playing it, but Pete is playing it, and some of the other members of the community playing it as well. I just won't have time, unfortunately. Man, Bud Bowl goes with the classic Bryce Young, Jatavion Sanders stack. What is this guy's team? 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 1. Oh, okay. Decent build, actually. Jason says, once I had kids, started doing NFL basically year long, had to give up video games or wife would kill me. Fair enough. Yeah, I would barely have any time. All right. DJ Chark, Odell Beckham. Pick your poison. Dotumsky? Gosh. Why'd you have to give me a username I can't pronounce? I'm just kidding. Oh, I didn't know you're drafting with us. Let's go. At the 111? Yeah, I'm happy to take a look at your team. Dotumsky. I can't pronounce anything, so don't feel bad. But yeah, certainly happy to take a look at your squad. And thank you for drafting with us. I barely drank any water. That's this stream. 2 stud teams in a row. No, it's not even here yet. All right. Jason's up first. He's got Prescott and Geno. Prescott with Lamb. Good. That's fine. You don't have to get every player. You don't have to get 2 players. You don't have to get 3 players. Well, I guess you have to get 2 technically, but outside of the quarterback, you don't have to get every player. Geno's with Kenneth and Charbs. JSN and Lockett. Nice. Very nice. Like maybe I take one more quarterback here. Dak's in a. I'm not worried about Dak, but like for argument's sake, Dak has a boot or something. And Gino, I think the verdict's out on him next year. Make or break year, but new offensive coordinator, head coach, all that stuff. I'm okay with it. I'm just, playing devil's advocate. But Walker, Corum, Charles, Marshawn Lloyd, Braylon Allen, Will Shipley. So your first running back was in the 6th round, then you didn't take another to the 10th. But look at these wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Mike Evans, Scary Terry, JSN, Tyler Lockett, Demario Douglas. Very good wide receiver room. Kincaid, Conklin, that's your boy. Theo Johnson. I understand the Theo Johnson pick, but I might like one quarterback. I don't know. You went Theo Johnson 18-11, so never mind. There's no one there. Is there anyone there? Like, you could take a Raiders quarterback. Yeah, I'm not gonna. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, most weeks you're gonna hope to start Dak, Kenneth. I do think RB2 is gonna be kind of interesting for this team. I mean, one of these rookies probably gonna hit, and then you got Seattle's backfield locked up. RB2 is hard to say at this moment. But then Lamb, Smith, Evans, and then you're flexing Terry. You're starting Kincaid. Then you still have JSN, Lockett, Demario Douglas, all his flex, wide receiver 2, 3 options. Yeah. I'll take it. And obviously, valuable stacks there too. Cats. We got Hurts, Herbert, and Dangerous himself. Hurts has got Barkley and Brown. And he got Goddard. I was really close to going Goddard in this draft. So glad you got him. Herbert has got Vidal and Palmer. Nice kind of late sneaky stack there. Russ has got Warren. That's it. That's okay. So yeah, good quarterback room. Say no more. I mean, yeah, week 5, you're leaning on Russell Wilson, but it's just 1 week. Barkley, Mixon, Warren, Vidal, Tyrone Tracy, CEH. It's fine. AJ Brown, Cooper, Hopkins, Palmer, Judy, Demarcus Robinson, Jalen McMillan, Ferguson, Goddard. So what was your order here? Wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, running back, wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, running back. So you only had back-to-back positional picks, 14th, 15th, and 16th, 17th. Because I'm going to say, it's just an interesting mix here. But yeah, most weeks you're hoping to start Hurts, Barkley, Mixon, Brown, Cooper, D-Hop, flexing Palmer, starting Ferguson. But you got other flex options here. Judy, Demarcus Robinson, Goddard. Maybe Jalen Warren. I'll take it. All right, Deltumsky. What we got here, bro? Caleb Williams, which, like I said during the draft, I was kind of eyeing Caleb Williams, but I'm almost happy that you took him. You got Caleb Williams with Stephon Diggs. Or no, I'm not. I'm sorry, with Keenan Allen. Sorry, he's late for me. That's fine. One player, all good. Staph infection with Puka. Once again, that's fine. One player is okay. Justin Fields is just like a free pick, right? Is that your last pick of the draft? Fine. Perfectly fine. Gibbs, Jones, Connor, Spears, Eckler. Great running back room. So you go 1 RB through the first 6 rounds, and you take 3 in a row. You get Eckler as your 5th. Great running back room. Puka, Diggs, Flowers, Allen, Godwin, Gabe Davis, Jermaine Burton. Very good wide receiver room as well. Tight end, you kind of waited to go tight end. You went like 0 tight end, which is okay to have some builds like that. Kate Otten, likely, Jawan Johnson. Like, you're kind of Frankensteining a tight end room here. It's something from that Chris Mangano from Fantasy Endgame talked about on their live stream last night. Like, like, you don't really have a tight end one here. And Jawan Johnson is coming off surgery. I've heard up and down reports about that. Likely, I still think is a handcuffed tight end. And Otten is your tight end 1. which I don't think he has a massive amount of upside. Like I'm really personally only drafting Otton if I draft Baker, but the rest of this team looks great. So if you can hit on these tight ends, like I may even go like I don't know. There's not really many tight ends available there at 18.2, but I might even take a fourth tight end in this build. But everything else looks really good. So you're starting, let's say Stafford most weeks, but Caleb can be in there too. Gibbs, Jones, Puka, Diggs, Flowers, and at the flex, Keenan Allen or Chris Godwin. And I think Gabe Davis and Jermaine Burton, where you got them, are guys that can sneak into the flex at times this year. Then you're starting Kate Otton. But yeah, running backs look really solid too, man. Got 2 stacks in here, just a good wide receiver room. Tight end, there's issues, but it's still a very good entry. 3-5-7-3, like my first year doing underdog drafts was my most common build, or I go like 3-5-8-2 or 2-5-8-2. So very good entry. And thanks for drafting with us, man. We do tons of these throughout the week. So if you guys are new to the channel, Discord's down below. It's free to join the Discord, and that just lets you guys know when I'm going live. If we're doing an underdog draft, if we're doing a sleeper, PPR, subscriber mock draft, whatever. But for those of you guys interested in joining underdog drafts, I love having you guys in these drafts with me. So, and we do have, why can't I think of the word? Slow drafts, private drafts was the word I was looking for. With the community that you guys can join as well on the Underdog channel and Discord. All right, here's my second entry of the night. And this is probably going to be my last draft of the night. Stroud with Collins and Schultz. Dameon Pierce, I'm not really going to count, but he's there. Kirk Cousins, just my QB2. He's just here. He's Captain Kirk, bringing the hopes, spirits of this team up. Hero running back build. Remember, we went Hall in the first 4 wide receivers. I feel like we had to take Stroud there, and then we got our 5th wide receiver. But Hall, Swift, Pollard, Gus, Jaleel McLaughlin, Dameon Pierce. I'll take it for a hero RB build. Collins, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Malachi Corley, DJ Chark. Fine at wide receiver. Even though I'm not crazy on my wide receiver 6-7, we have a very good tight end room. We have good enough starting 4 running backs and 2 good starting quarterbacks that I think it outweighs everything at wide receiver. Schultz, Komet, Chicken, Conquo. Good. I'm happy with this team. Happy with both teams tonight. So most weeks we're looking to start Stroud, Hall, Swift, Pollard, Gus, whoever. Collins, DJ Moore, Kirk, flexing Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson. One of these running backs can also be flexed. And then Dalton Schultz or Cole Kmet, quite frankly. So another solid entry in my opinion. Cats, most nights I am running 3, but tonight I'm just going to do 2. I woke up a bit early today, and I did a lot of recording, editing today. Tomorrow I'll be doing a lot of editing for both my channel and Fantasy Endgame, and I'll be back on live streaming tomorrow night. So just 2 tonight. And I'm not going to beat myself up for it because we did 3 Saturday night. We did 1 last night after the mock draft. Tomorrow night we'll do a mock draft, and I probably won't be able to contain myself from doing another puppy. So we'll be back. Don't worry, bro. Cats, I'm super high on Geno. Was actually top 5 in a lot of QB advanced stats last year. It's a pipe dream to think Howell replaces him. Don't ever insult Sam Howell on my channel again. I'm just kidding. No, I like Geno where he's going, especially if you're stacking Geno. And once again, I was just playing devil's advocate. It's like Geno behind Dak, I think is fine. Geno with both his, JSN and Lockett, yeah, still good. It's D. Lutmusky. I'm some of you guys who've been around the channel for a long time know that like uh I just can't pronounce anything right. And then I always feel so bad when we have a new like subscriber, member of the community, whatever, and I'm just like it just takes a while. I'm just gonna say, dude, I don't know what to call you. On is at least out there for like 80% of the snaps and likely showed a lot last year when Mark Andrews was hurt. Plus, I think they'll run a lot of 2 tight ends this year. 0 tight end, but happy with who I got. Yeah, and that is perfectly fine. And I actually really like Kate Otten. Like last year in Dynasty startups, like I was really high on Kate Otten. And I still do like Kate Otten. But I just worry about the touchdown upside. 2 touchdowns his rookie season, 4 touchdowns last year. I think Godwin's going to have an improved year, and I think Evans is still going to get a lot of those receiving touchdowns initially. And I think Rachaad White is just a stud. But I do like Kate Otten. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to go 0 tight end, this build is fine, you know. But you do have to, like, kind of look at it. And, like, if you have reasoning and you're okay with those 3 guys, at least 2 of those guys, then by all means, because like I said, the rest of this team is very good. So, Jason, have a good night, my dude. Cats, thank you for drafting. Lautumsky. Lutumsky? Is it Lautumsky or Lutumsky? And Cats, Romeo Dubes was on purpose. When I called Romeo Dobbs the Dubes or Dubster, that was on purpose. See, some of them I do on purpose, like Goodert. I just like calling Dallas Goedert Goodert. So some of them are just me being stupid. And then some of them, and I have gotten a lot better. Okay, so it's Lutomsky. Not so bad. So actually, when I edit for Chris and Pierre Fantasy Endgame, Pierre is like, shout out to Pierre, is an extraordinaire at pronouncing anything and pronouncing player names. So anytime I don't know how to pronounce a player's name, I just look for their name on a Fantasy Endgame video, especially when we're in season. Like, I don't know a good example off the top of my head, but Pierre just pronounces player names like perfectly. And so that has actually really helped me. That's really the best if you can't pronounce a player name. Not that most of you guys out there care to, because you're not live streaming or making content. But if you can't, the best thing you can do is just find like a game clip of them, or like something where an announcer is saying their name, or just watch another content creator like who's out there who doesn't suck at pronouncing things like me, and just listen to it, how their name is pronounced. So, pro tips here to end the stream. But, oh no, J-Dub's joining at the final second. Dude, I was looking for you. We drafted 2 stud teams tonight, bro. We had a great draft tonight. Great stream tonight. 2 great drafts. But I'm calling it quits for the night. Tomorrow we'll do a PPR mock draft, and then I will do a puppy afterwards, and we'll go from there for the week. So, J-Dubs, I feel bad. Power was out. Sorry, man. I'm just kind of done with the day. But yeah, sorry we missed you tonight. I mean, you're always here. So we'll get you in on the next one for sure. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Hit the like button. Discord's down below. Instagram's down below. All that good stuff. YouTube stuff. Do it. And great stream. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. I'll be on tomorrow. So with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch.